Hello everyone, my name is David Mercer, and today we're going to briefly explore one of the most important tools in adult education, the rubric. So today we're just going to look at a few different things. This is our agenda for today, I guess. So the definition, what is a rubric, what they're used for, and why you should be using one for your course. We'll have a look at the elements that make an effective rubric and take a quick look at the philosophy behind building one. What is a rubric? Simply put, it's your detailed roadmap and guide to the course you're presenting. It sets the standards and expectations in the course and ultimately what the ideal outcome of the course will be for learners. It's a great guide, as I say, a roadmap for you, the instructor, and for the students. It establishes the standards and the expectations. What do I use a rubric for? A rubric is used to lay out the expectations for the course, the goals for the course, what the learner should be able to do when they succeed, and what you'll do. A rubric describes standards for the course. For example, when will work be due? What are the policies for late work and the levels of achievement during the course? A rubric also describes how work will be evaluated. How much are the individual assignments worth and how quickly they'll be scored? Why should I use a rubric? Let's look at it from two different perspectives. First, from the learner perspective. Adult learners learn better when they can be hands-on and explore materials at their own pace. Self-motivation is a key difference between adult education and education directed at children. However, there has to be some guidance and structure involved. As the instructor, rather than giving the students everything they need to know, you're a resource when they need you for guidance. The rubric is the learner's roadmap, lets them know what to expect, and it's a resource that lets them know what you expect. And for instructors, they simplify grading because it actually sets out the expectations. It reduces subjectivity, so there's very little argument about what sort of marks you assign, and it makes it easier to communicate the standards. And it supports a more fair and equitable evaluation of work. So to create an effective rubric, you define clear and measurable criteria. For example, when you're designing a course, you always say, upon completion of the course, learners will be able to. And for example, you use words like learners will be able to describe or explain or things like that. You also sort of lay out very specifically what sort of word counts you're looking for and what sort of expectations you have for references in work. You describe the activities that are upcoming so the learners know what to expect. You just develop precise descriptors for each level of achievement. It's really important to ensure that the language you use is understandable to all learners. You ensure different formats are available also, because some learners don't learn the same as others. You review and revise your rubric constantly based on feedback. It's a living document. It's something you should be asking your learners what their impressions of and how they feel about it at the end of the course, every time you offer the course. So in creating an effective rubric, the roadmap, oddly enough, runs backwards. You always start with the goals. You always start at your end point, what the learners should be able to do when you finish the course. And you work backwards to create that roadmap to get there. And you describe and include the activities and projects that build incrementally to the goal that you want for the course. Thanks very much for your time. If you found this helpful, please leave a comment below. I'll have more for you very shortly. This is David Mercer. Have a great day.